morning, class. My name is Savannah Rabaldi Sharp, and my presentation is on human trafficking. So firstly, what is human trafficking? This is when people are forced into a type of labor or commercial sex act against their will. This includes physical, sexual, mental, and psychological abuse. This can happen anywhere in hotels, abandoned homes, apartments, child care departments, strip clubs, or any place that looks less suspicious. Human traffickers can be anyone, including family members, pimps, gang members, immigrants, U.S. citizens, strangers, and even old intimate partners. Why did I choose this topic? Mostly to raise awareness because there are so many innocent people who are being abused and taken into this trafficking, but to educate anyone on how this can happen, and there's nobody less classified than another. A lot of the time people think that, oh, I'm a guy, I'm a big guy, strong guy, so nobody will try to take me into one of these human trafficking, but that's actually not true. Anyone can be a victim. To show how many people get abducted into trafficking, so you'll see those on the statistics slideshow. And to help make a difference by educating people on the potential warning signs of what's happening to them. So there are several different types of trafficking. First, there is sex trafficking, obviously one of the most known ones there are. This is when a trafficker uses force, fraud, or coercion to compel another person to engage in a commercial sex act. Labor trafficking, these are activities involved when a person uses force, fraud, or coercion to exploit the labor or services of another person. There is child trafficking, any specified acts with a child aged 18 or lower. And lastly, there's organ trafficking. We did talk about this in one of the lectures, but obviously I'm going to put it in the presentation. This is the false consent into having people's organs harvested. Kidney and the liver are being the most popular right now in organ trafficking. How does human trafficking actually happen? The traffickers will meet vulnerable people, such as teenagers or kids by themselves, and coercing them into being manipulated. It's not only teenagers and kids, because it could be anyone, but with the kids and the teenagers, they're mostly by themselves, and traffickers will definitely use that to their advantage. They'll use tactics to trick people into being taken. When I was a kid growing up, my mom always told me, be cautious of white vans. You still have to be cautious of them, but my mom always told me that. And especially growing up, where people will say, oh, do you want to come to my car to see my dog or my pet, or I have candy for you? You know, the tactics. That's what my mom always told me, but something like that, be mindful of it. And they'll use force with the victims, such as grabbing, drugging, restraining them, and that's when they'll put them into a vehicle. Lastly, people who are groomed are most likely victims of human trafficking and luring and exploitation. Also, fake job offers. This was a big one that human traffickers will go online and they'll create a website for job offers, but there'll be no job offers. It'll be, oh, come to this location for an interview, and, you know, something bad happens like that. So there are a lot of warning signs in human trafficking. So there's several types of it, but I broke it down to make it easier. So there is a situational warning sign, having a contract in an unknown language, being not paid for services, not given enough details on the work needed. So those are for the traffickers. For the victims, it could be people in controlling relationships and people who do not have a good relationship with friends or family. Behavior, these are for the victims. It's having another person speak for them, be escorted, cannot control their own phone or have a phone, unable to contact friends or family, appear anxious or scared, fear authorities, and avoid eye contact and speaking. Appearance, they could dress older than they seem, most likely wearing baggy, unkempt clothes, dress inappropriately. So in some cases, these victims won't have a lot of clothes, so their clothes might be ripped or not even have some clothes. Show signs of abuse, untreated medical issues, seem underfed or tired, and show signs of addiction. Lastly, their possessions, have little to no belongings, no bank or financial records, no passport, state ID, little to no cash or excessive cash, no cell phone, and many hotel keys. The many hotel keys are for the traffickers themselves. This is when they'll have several types of places and many victims. So in order for them to keep this business per se going, they have to have many places, which includes many keys. The statistics of human trafficking, the number of people prosecuted for human trafficking more than doubled from 2012 to 2022, increasing from 805 to 1,656 people. Obviously, that's a huge difference. In Massachusetts, 2023, there were 84 cases identified of human trafficking in the U.S. 153 victims were involved in these cases. In 2023, there were 158 calls from victims on the National Human Trafficking Hotline. I should have linked it, but if you go to Safari or Google and type in National Hotline Human Trafficking, the number will pop up, and if you see anything that looks suspicious or odd, call the number. That's what they were doing. 4.8 million people are being trafficked for forced sexual exploitation. And lastly, women and young girls make up 71% of human trafficking victims. So how can we help? We can learn and share warning signs with friends and family, report any suspicious behavior to local police or National Hotline Center. In my discussion post, I'll probably link the phone number. Be cautious of any business that lists suspicious labor. So the ones where the unknown websites, the ones that look suspicious, that's what I'm talking about. Join clubs. There's a lot of online clubs for victims of human trafficking, so that's always a potential club to join. And there are protests advocating for victims. I haven't seen any in the U.S., but in other places where human trafficking is more common, there are many protests there. Oh yeah, my puzzle for the class. Our professor posted a video that I linked below. So it is, based on lecture 4, we witnessed live footage of migrants being sold. What could someone do in that area to stop this process, especially given how it was out in the open for anyone to see? That's my puzzle for you guys. And these are my references. I forgot to add all of the professor's lectures because that was a big part in my presentation. So I'll make sure to link that when I post this presentation. And if you guys have any questions for me, you guys can email me or reach out. Thank you guys.